Yeah, you know, you hit that practice 10, and you felt some things that offensively I thought we did pretty well, but then we didn't always sustain them. So it'll be good to go back and look at that film, because one of the things you hit on practice 1 or 2, are we going to bring the same consistency practice 10, practice 11, practice 12? Because it does. It gets real hard, but it's hard for everyone in the country. And the people who handle it better, you know, those moments and those tough moments are the same people who are going to handle the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter better, or the 11th play of the drive. So I'm excited. We did some good things, but we just got to keep growing in that way, and just know that no matter how good we think things might go in a period, we can get hit in the face the next period, or no matter how bad it is, hey, we got to come back fighting the next one. So that was the message I gave to the tight ends there, and I'm excited to see how our guys respond the next day.
Looks like Ali Walsh did some good things for you today. You're talking about how his day looked, and what do you expect out of him? What can he give you?
He did. I need to it just has to be consistent, because he hasn't practiced a lot. So all of a sudden he was fresh out there, as opposed to guys who have practiced a lot. You know, so I just got to see a consistency out of Biagio. But there was definitely some runs I noticed today, and it'll probably show up on film where he did some good things, got vertical. But it's that, you know, continuing to do that day after day after day.
And if he can do that, give the consistency, what does he bring you?
Brings some definite speed and definite, you know, stuff from a run game standpoint. But like I said, that's a heavy room. You know, that's a heavy room with a lot of guys, you know, so you just got today, you know, but if you look at all 10 practices, you'd catch some other guys too, you know, so that's just, that's a competitive room right now, so that excites me.
With the way Laird was running today, are we seeing the guy with fresh legs? I mean, he looked like he had a lot of burst.
Yeah, he's got some fresh legs now too, and in fairness to him, he'd practice every rep of every, you know, but, you know, we're being smart coming off, you know, the off season in terms of, you know, a quick little deal he had at the end there of the summer. So now he's, yeah, he definitely, you saw some fresh legs, and but he keeps himself to that way anyway. You know, he kind of just, you know, he's one of those guys that just gets his body to that level where he stays, yeah, he's disciplined with it, so he stays fresh even in toughest of moments.
We've seen a little more confidence from Brandon and trusting his legs. Is it just getting to know everything a little bit better that's made him more comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably always trusted his legs. He's just getting a feel for probably when he should use them, when he shouldn't, and, you know, and just, you know, putting in things that trying to put him in the best chance for success. Because that's what you want to do with anyone. That's what you do with a receiver. You know, that's what you do with a running back, and that's what you do with different quarterbacks. So it's probably a combination of him doing that, but also, you know, him being in certain stuff that's maybe more tailored to what his strengths are.
With Kanawai and Vic and Kanawai out there, how are you kind of working them back into things, and what are you seeing from them as they get more reps? Yeah,
just trying to, we're just, you know, and the strength department does such a good job. So they've been getting them to a game ready during these first, you know, first few practices, and we just kind of fall into line with what are the right amount of reps. You know, so we, you know, Coach Becton and his crew have that dialed up. They know what they're getting, and we fall in line with, okay, does it make sense for this many team reps, this many, then that's what we'll do. So just kind of get as much as I can out of them, but also understanding, you know, where they are and what's the right amount.
Where did Ben Skinner come from for you guys? Because he's flashed a bit here.
Yeah, he's definitely he's got some stuff. He does. He's, you know, a long way to go as a collegiate receiver, and everyone does when they just first get here. But there's definitely there's definitely a skill set that gives you a good chance to work with some things going forward. So I really like him, you know, and I really like how hard he works and how he attacks things, along with having a skill set's one thing. You know, a lot of guys have that, but it's just a matter of, I think he attacks things the right way and cares.
I know you've mentioned it before about the Michigan transfer, but can you talk about Bunting and Ways a little bit? The first thing I think of is size.
Yeah, no question. You see them and you see the size and you see what they bring that way, but they also bring a good want to develop within this offense, to understand this offense. You know, they don't just want to go out there and, you know, I'm big, so I can be open, throw me the ball type, you know, because you can get a little bit of that, you know, in a short period of time. Are they really going to grasp, you know, what the concepts are and everything that's going on? They both do that really well. So they bring that size, they bring that talent level, but they also are really working to grasp the offense as a whole, which is going to in turn allow them to fit in like veteran players, not like new guys that you kind of have to spot in here and there.
Has there been a little bit of a drop-off in quarterback accuracy in the last couple of practices?
Yeah, some of the numbers might, show up that way. And again, there's a lot of reasons for that. And it's one of those deals where you want to see that keep improving. And you also want to put them in situations where they have more consistent receivers on the field at the same time. That's what, and that's something that's the biggest challenge. And it is every year in fall camp, because there's a certain number of reps you want your receivers to run through 25 practices, and sometimes maybe it won't feel like the game where most of the time the same 3, 4, 5 receivers are out there. Instead, they could run through 10 or 12. So that timing sometimes gets a little bit off. You're putting in new stuff, and it may not always be the guys that'll be running on Saturdays. So, so definitely there's areas to improve, but there were also times where I felt like that wasn't a bad read, or that wasn't a ball that was off. It was just a matter of communication between the two of them.
I'm going to talk to Safel here in a minute.
Yep.
What kind of camp was he had for you guys?
Really solid, and and the biggest thing about him is you continue to see him move from where he was, a year ago, and he just keeps growing in that way, and so he's excited about him because he definitely brings a presence. He brings a leadership even at a young age with how he plays the game and just the attitude he takes to practice in the film room. So, enjoy coaching.
How impressive was it to see a guy especially at a position like the offensive line, come in and play right away like he did last year?
Really impressive. It's not. It's just not common. It's not common at any level to play as a true freshman. So it says a lot about his readiness. Not just his body, he's ready, came in ready that way, but I think more than anything, just mentally too, just mentally understanding the system, but also the mental toughness to not worry about, hey, my first start from going up against these veterans from USC, or my first action, whatever that was. He's mentally strong that way.
It sounds like you guys had a pretty big personnel meeting Sunday. Any big picture things that came out of that? How are you going to rep guys, things like that?
Oh, yeah, there were.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it.
We also heard you had a fantastic bowling outing, and rumor has it that you put up a pretty good number.
I did, but it was still one short of winning. So
is that okay?
One short of winning? Yeah, Coach Meyer.
202 is not good enough.
202 lost.
Okay.
202 lost to Meyer.
Okay, all right.
Meyer went 203.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was frustrating to see. So, but still got to be better than that guy, right?
There you go.
So I'm gonna get a rematch with him though. You can believe that.
Yeah. I like
believe that.
Yeah.
You have your own ball?
I do not have my own ball. I roll a house ball every once in a while. Just got hot for a little bit.
What kind of stuff does that do for the team when you guys get away from the field?
It was so fun. It was so fun. Just to, and as coaches, you end up in an alley. The way they structured it, you end up with a bunch of guys that aren't necessarily in your position or even your side of the ball. So not only are they another chance for them to interact outside of what they, usually interact position group or side, but also even as coaches start interacting with these guys that you may not get as much interaction with. So it was a blast. It was had fun, with the exception of that one pin.
Can you talk a little bit about Dancy's development? He's getting a lot of reps out there.
He's had a lot of reps, and deservingly so. He's earned them. He wouldn't be getting reps if he wasn't earning them. They're not just reps aren't given. That's what I tell them all the time. It's the term, hey, those are my my reps, or there's no my reps. So any reps he's getting, he's earning, and he does it because he's got some stuff. He brings some stuff to the table, and he cares, man. He works, gets here early, stays late, does whatever it takes. Tough kid.
Coach, now that you guys are kind of towards the end of camp, I know you guys have to take things day by day, week by week, but when does the focus kind of transition from the general preparation to North Carolina specific?
It's a combination of, somewhere next week a little bit, but coach doesn't get too far ahead of himself. You don't want to start diving into game plan if you don't have your own things figured out to where you want them to be. So it's kind of that. We're probably a little slower than some people in that way, but I think that fits what we need to do, especially with only 25 practices. You got to make sure you get your true install stuff in before you just move on.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.